Hello everybody, my name is Charlotte19 and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, and today we're going to be recreating one of my favorite books. Well, beginning the process because this is Kerbal Space Program and you can't do all that much in like a single KSP stream. Hello Glitchy, how are you doing? Are you okay? Okay, my friend. Hi. Hello. So let me go ahead and so there is this. I'm doing well. I got a haircut. Nice, nice. Hopefully they didn't screw it up because whenever I get a haircut, are you Canadian? No, I am American. I am from the I live in the great Commonwealth of Virginia. But there's a book by Stephen Baxter, who is a fairly uh well-known science fiction writer, called Voyage. And you, Virginia, if it makes it feel any better, I was born in Georgia, and I will be moving back down there fairly soon. So, the premise of the book is basically, there we go. The premise of the book is that after a bit of historical context, after Apollo 11, Nixon got together a group called the Space Task Group to basically determine what the future of NASA should be after the moon landings. And they put forward something called the Integrated Program Plan. Nixon. The Integrated Program Plan, not Integrated Program Planner Lockheed Martin, was basically it was a whole plan put together where you'd have a space shuttle and a nuclear rocket tug and space stations and moon bases and Mars bases, and the ultimate goal was a Mars landing. That's what they recommended. Now, the only part of this plan to actually survive was the actual space shuttle part. Because it was the only thing that NASA could afford out of this entire grand scheme. But the basic idea was you would develop all these elements together and you could use them for whole sorts of things, and eventually you could do a Mars mission. Shuttle was the only thing that survived out of that. Everything else was canceled. So the basic idea behind Voyage is, what if they went ahead and did something basically they basically decided, okay, instead of building the space shuttle, we go ahead and we do a Mars mission. We basically do a very, very stripped down version of this, a Mars landing with a nuclear rocket, and spoiler alert, the nuclear rocket kind of explodes, but so they have to do chemical. And they basically do a Mars mission, a one-off Mars mission using Apollo technology in like the 80s. And is there any probably the best. Oh, this isn't nuclear rockets. Nuclear rockets are kind of cool, but nuclear rockets are kind of cool, but in the book, based on the story that and the point that Baxter was trying to make in the book, which is that these big one-shot missions are kind of not good. He needed it to explode. But this is the basic thing that we're going to be recreating. We are going to be. Did we nuke the moon? No, but we landed on Mars. We did kill, in this universe, we did end up killing 3 astronauts because of a nuclear rocket, because of NERVA, the nuclear rocket engine for rocket vehicle technology. But this is basically the mission that we're going to try and recreate. It's a Saturn V with Titan boosters, or shuttle boosters. And they launch this stack, which connects up. I don't know why in this it's external tanks. I'm probably just going to make that normal, like S2s. Were you a Transformers kid? No, I was not. And so they go to Mars. Probably the best recreation was by, I think, Chris P. Bacon. Gary's Voyage to Mars. I'll just toss this in the chat because this is probably the best recreation of this fictional mission out there. So this is what we're going to be doing. And the first thing that we need to do is we're going to recreate all the elements. The first thing that we're going to do today is we're going to recreate the Mars lander itself. That's the first thing we're going to do, the Mars excursion module. And I believe I actually have there's a diagram. So this is what it looks like. There is a mod for it, but I want to do it with stock. That's what it looks like. And I believe I do actually have the actual thing, the actual report. Yeah, okay, so this was an actual proposal by North American Rockwool. And this is basically the PDF, which details everything for this proposed Mars excursion module. So this is what it would sort of look like. All of this, I'll go ahead and I will also toss that in chat. So that's what we're going to make first. And of course, I'm in the best game ever, Kerbal Space Program. And we're going to hop in and we're going to start recreating that. So I'm actually going to create a new save for this. We're going to call it Ares. And then USA, sandbox, everything normal. Oh yes, and let me actually, speaking of things that are spaceflight related, I think I flashed this on the stream the other day, but it is, excuse me. Someone has texted me. My mom has texted me, but I am getting some new art. Oh, that's an outdated version. Let me go ahead and just get up. How's my microphone doing, by the way? Is it, on my end, it's not doing so hot. There we go. And to fit with the Kerbal Space Program stream, some work in progress art from of me in space. So that is some whip art that Pat is doing. Not like Railroad or Pat, different Pat. So that's cool. My microphone's acting up, so please excuse that. But that's gonna be nice. So there's that. And let's go ahead and begin. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted. I get distracted fairly easily, so. Okay, thanks, I got it. We're gonna go in the spaceplane hangar. And let me get up a actual Mars excursion module picture on my second monitor, so I can look at this thing and actually recreate it. Okay, so the first thing is we need a command module. There we go, we got our command module. And okay, so we got our command module. That's what we have. And then let's see, so we need like an adapter. Do we have, what kind of adapters do we have? Because we need like the 1 point, preferably 2 to like 1.8 parts. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Do we have any other upper stage engine mount? Rockamax brand. I mean, we could probably Rockamax brand adapter. Shortline is doing a Voyage recreation. My shitty evening is now very less shitty. Hello, Spud. Welcome in. I don't know. How was your day? I hope, did you have a double-decker cheeseburger today? I don't know. Okay, so we're doing Mars Excursion module. First, cheeseburger. My day was fine until a few minutes ago. I see now. Monopropellant, we don't need the monopropellant in that. I typically put my monopropellant in other places. Don't want to talk about why, but you can probably guess. Yeah, and for anyone coming in, I have a strict no politics rule in my stream. I am well aware of current events, and I certainly have my own opinions on them, but this is not the place where I want that discussion to be held. There are plenty of other places. And Glitchy gifted a tier 1 sub to Spud. Oh my gosh. I guess I need a what's it called? An alert for that. But that is very nice of you, Glitchy. That is actually very nice of you. Okay, so I am building the Mars Excursion module first because the MEM is gonna go, like, obviously it's the centerpiece of everything. So also because I'm going to have to modify my Saturn V. I guess my Saturn 5B around that. Around the Mars Excursion module. So okay, so there we go. Now we need an engine plate. Let's see. How's audio, by the way? On my end, I think my earbuds are dying, for what it's worth. I think, yeah, my earbuds, I think, are dying. There's a bit of a crackly sound. I don't know if that's coming through. I'm a die right now. Oh, let's... bye, Glitchy? Well, thank you for popping in, and thank you for gifting, Bud that sub. JK, I'm living. No. Or yes, you're alive. Okay. So, the actual Mars Excursion module. Let me actually get up the frickin', like, PDF that I have. And I need to look, because... let's see. I am trying to, because I think they actually wanted to use... You said no for me on living. You can live, Glitchy, it's fine. I think the actual chat give me a cute anime girl. I'm not a girl, but I don't know. Am I cute? I don't know. Do any girls out there think I'm cute? Probably, but I am oblivious, so I wouldn't know. I think the actual Mars Excursion module wanted to use an arrow spike out of all things for the frickin' upper stage, which would be funny, but I think in the book, because they're trying to develop the MEM as quickly as possible, they're kind of under a time crunch. They get rid of all the fancy arrow spike and just swap it out for a normal engine. So I don't know, what's... Have a cheetah, maybe? Let me look. So, upper... in the PDF. No. Final briefing, November 1967 for this document. Let's see, is there... Entry, do orbit, okay. Yeah, they wanted to use an arrow spike, which is kind of funny. I don't think we're going to be using an aerospike. Do we have this? That's kind of ridiculous. And then, oh, it's like, that's an entire J2. Let's see. Liquid fuel engines. Okay. Hydrogen, no. Or a liquid fuel engine, that's kind of small. Corgi, that's kind of big. Goldfish, too small. Manatee. Thing is, the Terrier would be perfect. The problem is that... Actually, no, that's a TWR of 2. Sure, let's actually use the Terrier for now. Let's just put that in as... Let's put that in as a placeholder. There we go. And then for now, I'm going to get rid of that as a shroud. And then... Okay. Mars excursion module. Let's see. And then... Do we have, like, a tube? We have, like, a structural tube? Yeah, we do. And then... Heat shield. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I'm very much currently trying to think about how I should go about doing this. Huh. I don't think the mem is gonna be like 100% accurate. The actual thing. Because, at least the one I'm making, I'll try and get it close, but the mem is kind of a weird shape. Not gonna lie. It's kind of a weird shape. Decoupler. Shroud. It's supposed to be like Apollo shaped, right? The whole point of this thing is it's shaped like a command module. So it's not gonna be... This is not gonna be one of those things that's like 100% accurate. It's kind of... And I've never tried making a mem like this before, so it might be a bit weird. So bear with me, friends, while I slowly try and figure this out. Never. Hello, Average. Hello, welcome in. How are you doing today, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Like... If it's kind of fucked up, it's fine. I might do my own version. You have to. You said you would. So... Actually, okay. I'm very particular about how I build my craft in Kerbal Space Program, so bear with me if this takes a moment or two to actually get it to work. I don't want to, like, slap this thing together. Let's see. I never said that poll was binding. Oh, come on. Come on. You gotta do it. Listen, I have the benefit that I've actually read the book a couple of times, so I know all the intricate details about this. I do want to recreate some of the predecessor, like the test missions that they did. And engine plate short. Okay. I am thinking. Okay, I probably will at some point, but can you let me finish the $300 Rock Incarnate that I haven't started first? Finish whatever you need to finish first, but yes. I do eventually want to see you make this one day, Spud, because it would be Rock Incarnate. Okay. It's one word. You typed it as one word. You can't fault me in my terrible speaking. Bruh. Yes, I can. Can you? Okay. Okay. Delete bearing. Sorry, I'm thinking about this. Because I need to build the fairing out first, because that's the confines I'm working with when it comes to the mem. The mem in the book and the actual Ares mission is named Challenger, so that's the name of the mem in the book. And then one of the mems on the I guess you could call it like the Apollo 9 sort of mission is called Iowa. They don't have like all the names for all of the. I think in the book, there's like 5 mems that fly. The curved airlock, the mem had. Yeah, I'm wondering about that too. Because it's kind of a really freaking weird shape. The Mars excursion module is not like the most conducive thing towards a recreation, I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of unless you have specialty parts, it's kind of a weird. It is a very weird shape. So there we go. And then on the curved, the weird mem curved thing is going to be up here, and then I see if I can fold like a rover in the back. They do have a rover. Well, the book ends. Oh yeah, spoilers by the way. The book ends as soon as they get on Mars. That's when the book ends. But it is mentioned that they do have a rover with them that they take. So. Apparently some of Baxter's later works kind of suck. The only book I've read from Baxter's Voyage, I am well aware of. I didn't read Titan or Moonfall just from the premises. I read the premise and I'm like, okay, this is a bit too like. Because at least with Voyage is probably Baxter's most realistic book in the NASA trilogy out of all 3, because there's Voyage, Titan, and Moonfall, and it's called a trilogy even though they take place in completely separate universes. They're all not connected to one another. But I read the premises to like Titan and what is it, Moonseed or Moonfall is like the terrible Roland Emmerich film that I didn't watch because it's terrible. Moonseed, I think it's called. Yeah, I read the premises of those. I'm like, I don't need to read these. Ark is the one they said sucks specifically. Small donation to my favorite streamer. Yay, thank you, Average. Cheers. I don't think the... Hold up. I don't think that worked either. The alerts worked either for that. Anywho, yeah, I didn't pay attention to that, so I don't think they went off. You were talking about do works. Well, the alerts that I have set up, it's like solid rocket booster crackle. It's like rocket sound. But if I like log into Streamlabs, right? Which log in with Twitch, hold up. If I go to alert box, test. Did those go off? Did that go off? Is that supposed to... I'm also curious about how you're going to do the weird legs. I don't know. Guess that went off. Okay, I'm just blind. That's from Artemis 1. I don't know how I'm going to do the weird legs. I really don't. It's, there is a Mars Excursion module mod for the game, but it's kind of terrible, and it's also ancient. So, plus I like making things in, well, this isn't stock, but it's like semi-stock. It's restock. And then, let's see. Restock and Restock Plus are like the two. And that's another thing too, the tanks on the side of the mem are also like really fucking weird shapes. How am I gonna do this exactly? My personal answer would be like attach panels and wings on girders to the end of a BG robotics part. That's probably what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's the problem. It's such a weird frickin' shape that it's just that it's not conducive to like a recreation without heavy modding, which I don't want to do. Is that still glitches through? We don't have any other tanks that are smaller than that. My solution would be to, like, put them down there. They still sort of glitch through. Also, Average, I am honestly a bit flattered to say that I am your favorite streamer. I don't know what to say about that other than just thank you. I really do appreciate it a lot. I've built my own little community here, and I don't know. Just thanks. Just thanks, yeah. Okay, I know what to do. I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna get rid of that. And we are just going to do in order to make this work a bit better, put that there as the RCS fuel. We don't need that much RCS fuel, but it'd be nice. And then we need no, we need like the 1.5 meter parts. No. Yes, that's what we need. No, wait, that's not what we need. Yeah, that's what we need. Okay. And then I'm also going to flip that around because I think it looks better that way. And then carrier. There we go. And I do sort of want to... If I look at a picture of a Mars excursion module, the front is... Well, that does actually use hydrogen. Hold up. It looks cryogenic to me. See, this is my... This is my sort of issue where I get like fixated on this. Needs to be right. There we go. And then the monoprop. There we go. Yeah, 120 is fine. And then we got that, and then we got carrier. The coupler. Yeah, that looks good. And then that actually already works. And then something like that. And then yeah, I'll keep the coupler. Oh, it's not, because it's a... Well, I guess you don't... Yeah, I kind of like that the most, even though it is a bit like, floaty. That. And the RCS. Here we go. That kind of looks like a big dragon. It's kind of, kind of weird. Oh, fuck. Okay. Intense fox focusing time. That's what's going on right now. Okay, there we go. I've been pinged by somebody. Who have I been pinged by? Okay. I will, well, looks like I will be in a voice chat with some other people later. But, okay, that's better. That I can work with. It looks a bit goofy, but waiting for the internet to... Yeah, and I said this at the beginning of the stream, and I'm gonna say it again. I have a strict, like, no politics rule in my stream. And I'm aware of what's happening. I certainly have my own thoughts on it, but there are plenty of other places that I and all of you can go to talk about that. If you want a distraction from that, you know, have everything, you know, all the information come out and then make a decision. You know, you want something to distract you in the meantime, come here, I guess. That's why I came here, lol. Yeah. Okay. Good. The world kinda sucks, not gonna lie, in a lot of ways. But I always feel like there always needs to be places where the suckiness of the world just doesn't... It shouldn't be present. There should be spaces where you can just forget about it for a while. That's not to say you ignore it, or you bury yourself in escapism and avoid real-world problems. No, you should be aware and informed of what's going on, but, you know, you shouldn't be constantly bombarded with it 24/7. It just wears a person down. At least in my opinion. Okay. So, jettison that. Okay. I forgot, how much Delta V, KSP Delta V map? How much Delta V is it to get into Juno orbit? (1400 meters per second of Delta V to get into a low Juno orbit. That's something I also need to keep an eye on. Okay. And then the monopropellant, I can cut that to help increase the amount of Delta V, because we're not carrying as much weight. Plus, we're gonna add all that weight back when we add stuff like RCS and power and whatnot. I think this thing was supposed to run on fuel cells. So, okay. Fuel tanks. Let's see. Okay. Intense fox focusing noises. That's what I'm currently doing. Let's see, because there are those tanks, and then there are those tanks. Well, let's see. Like, if I go ahead... Oh, that actually works out very well. That fits, like, perfectly. So actually, you know what I can do to help with the fuel? Because those are drop tanks. Those are supposed to, and there were supposed to be, I think, 6 of them on the actual mem. Yeah, I believe there's supposed to be 6 of them on the actual mem, and but just because of space constraints, I'm gonna have to add less. And plus, it's like a Kerbal Space Program stock-alike recreation. It's not like... I'll be happy as long as it's good enough. Okay, and then can I just make that white? Yes, I can. Slowly figuring out how to do this. Tell me more about your timeline idea than before. Okay, Spud. So remember how we were having that? You messaged me and is basically like, okay, what if there was an alternate timeline where Nerva survived? We actually continued with nuclear rocket technology in the United States. So that sort of got me thinking. How would you actually go about making a timeline like that? Because the thing about Nerva is that Nerva, in my opinion, is only really useful, and I think you can only really justify it in terms of... Is that correct? No. You can only really justify it in terms of, we need this thing to go because we want to send heavy stuff beyond low Earth orbit. Now, the most obvious thing for that is Moon and Mars missions, but that sort of opens its own sort of can of worms timeline-wise. So I was... Oh, come on. Sorry, I'm trying to focus on this, but it's not going too well. So I was thinking, okay, what kind of space program can you put together in the 70s that's realistic, that doesn't necessarily involve Mars, but isn't just like, let's just continue Apollo? And the conclusion that I came up with was... The conclusion that I came up with was, say there's some sort of political need to maintain beyond low Earth orbit capacity. Did I what? Did you make Apollo applications ARM? Actually, Spud, kind of? Let me, my basic idea is that, yeah, there's some sort of need to maintain beyond low Earth orbit capacity, or capability, right? And I don't know, maybe because the Soviets like have the N1 or something, and even if it like barely fucking functions, but there's no necessary requirement for you to say do strict lunar landing missions or Mars missions. So I sort of was playing around and I was thinking, okay, in my mind I've had this idea for a while. What would you call a new version of Apollo? Artemis? That's what they're calling the new lunar program. Apollo is just the sister of Artemis. They're already like multiple steps ahead, so... Sleepy or average. Absolutely, and yes. Always more fluffier tails. That's not actually, interestingly enough, fluffy. Or, fluffy, fuck. Average. Your name on Twitch is Average, your name on Discord is Sleepy. I get confused. That character design isn't actually too far from the first version of Shiloh, who's my OC. He originally wore like a kind of like a light sweatshirt, but this is like 5 years ago. I still have a terrible drawing from like middle school somewhere lying around. Because it's an incredibly obvious choice. It's like how the incredibly obvious choice for a Mars program is Ares. Anyways, back to my timeline idea. So, this initially started as a... I just gave him one of my hoodies because I didn't know what to give him. Makes sense. So, this timeline originally started as a... alternate Apollo Earth orbit refueling timeline. Like, you know the recreation that I did where I had the direct descent spacecraft and I launched that into orbit and then I refuel that. That originally started as that timeline. And so I was sort of thinking, okay, where would you take such a timeline post, like, Apollo, right? And that timeline involved, obviously, because that sort of mission architecture is a lot more expensive. It's a lot more, like, you need 2 Saturn V's for every launch compared to just 1 IRL. It's going to be a bit harder to maintain, like, political support. So in this alternate timeline, I had, and the exact mechanics I haven't exactly worked out, but because Apollo would need increased support in this timeline, Hubert Humphrey wins the 1968 presidential election, and you get a Democrat in office for another 4 more years who has sort of a vested interest in continuing Johnson-era spaceflight policy and supporting Apollo and Nerva as well. And he does such a piss-poor job, Humphrey does, because everyone's basically just sick of the Democrats by 1972, that you get the Reagan Rockefeller bid, Republican bid, in like 1972, and they win. And that advances. So in that timeline, Apollo continues. There's probably less landings because the mission, you need 2 Saturn V's for every launch, and then. But Apollo support for, I guess, Johnson Air spaceflight policy is maintained, which includes Nerva. So basically, by the time you get the I guess the 72 Reagan administration, okay, I'm gonna go for real by. Yeah, glitchy, it's fine. We're nerding out about spaceflight, so sorry for having a different name on every single platform we have. No, it's okay. I was thinking, okay, by 1972, say like the Soviets actually have the N1 working. And like in 1972, you have like Reagan as president like a decade earlier, and as a result, like Strategic Defense Initiative like a decade earlier. Because here's the thing about SDI. SDI actually looked into nuclear rockets. Project Tumblewind, which was a sort of brief Nerva revival in like the 80s under SDI. I'm like, okay, so the excuse for keeping nuclear rockets around is we need that low Earth orbit, beyond low Earth orbit capability because the Soviets have it now, so we need to maintain it. Also, there's probably a whole bunch of military applications to having nuclear space tugs roaming about in space. But obviously you need to, like, refuel those nuclear space tugs every now and then, so you need a refueler, which you simply borrow from the alternate Apollo program. And then you need, because you have to launch fuel so much, you need somewhat cheap launch, so you just build a flyback Saturn V first stage. So you get a program which involves a Nerva space tug, a flyback S1C launching space tankers to refuel it, and like, I don't know, they do like maybe like a space station out in like lunar orbit or something. So that's my basic idea, Spud. That's my basic idea. And because now I've explained this timeline, I have to go write it now. But I also have to fucking lock in and focus and build this frickin' thing. Can you say the last minute again? I had to tune out. Long story short, Apollo, because you get a Democrat, Humphrey, in office from 68 to 73, or technically 69 to 73, you got continued support for this alternate Apollo, which means continued support for Nerva, and also gives Soviets more time to actually, you know, get the N1 somewhat barely working to get beyond low Earth orbit capability, which means that when Reagan comes in 73, he does Strategic Defense Initiative 10 years earlier, which involves maintaining beyond low Earth orbit capability, which includes the Nerva, the nuclear engine, with a space tug that can be reused, and a flyback S1C, basically launching like refuelers to refuel those tugs, and then maybe eventually down the line like a Skylab derivative out in like lunar orbit. So yeah, that's my timeline idea. Bit complicated, but yeah. Also, Fluffy, I want to see your Sleepy. Too many Y's. You asked me if you should give this character fluffier tails, and I said yes. So now I'm going to confuse you two. You should. Also develop his character more. Also, I might be getting a 3D model for VTubing, but we'll talk about that a bit later. I'm excited. Physically possible in the 70s. Was SDI physically possible in the 80s even? A lot of SDI wasn't physically possible in the 80s either, so it's kind of like... It's like, okay, or something approximating it. Let's see, oh, that is off-center. Yeah, but at least the 80s had somewhat decent computers. True, true. So that's my timeline idea. When you think SDI, think more of like the concept than the actual like execution. That's what I sort of mean by that. Okay. Fucking fuel tanks. By the way, tomorrow there will be a Slime Rancher stream because I love Slime Rancher. Do you know that I like Slime Rancher? I don't think people know this. Maybe if I get bored of this, I'll switch over to Slime Rancher, but I kind of want to get this damn thing done, because the mem is cool. So... Oh, by the way, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, because I know I want to be inclusive. The mem is indeed cool. Up. The dogs! There's a board in the way, fuck. The dogs. They are here. So, my folks are up at my sister's college, helping her move in to her new apartment. So I have to look after everything for the next couple of weeks. Not next couple of weeks, next couple of, like, days. And that includes the boyos. They do be sleeping. So, the Doguses are here. They are chilling. Dog cam. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, happy. Okay. Bear, we're finally landing. Hi Ryan, hello, welcome in. How are you? We got all the gamers tonight. Bear, we're finally landing indeed. So how are you doing tonight, Ryan? I hope you're doing well. I am off for the next 2 days, which is wonderful. I don't have to go into work. I have to go into work on Tuesday, but I'm torn between buying a BLI T1 in Not Freedom Train or a Rapido D10. What is Not Freedom Train? Oh, he's moved. They're moving. Oh wait, never mind. Okay, they're not moving. Honestly, you should add like a box to your stream on the layout which says, "Are the dogs there today? Yes, no, for the sake of the team." It's that's actually a really good idea, Spud. I should actually do that. I should do that. I'll actually update the overlay so it includes that. It's a fictional BLI livery where it's all dark blue. Please send me this, Ryan. I want to see. Also, Average, please do more drawings of that. I want to see more. Join the cult. There we go. Okay, that actually is very good. That has enough delta V. I have pinged you. All right, let me see. The new 2026 Productions Discord. Oh, fuck. I'm showing this on stream. Also, Average, is it okay if I show you drawing on stream? That is... I don't like that, if I'm gonna be honest. That looks stupid, in my opinion. It's so tacky. I'd go with the D10, if I'm gonna be honest, Ryan. I'd go with the but it's on brand. Okay, it is on brand for you, but like... hold up, I'm gonna glitch out ever so briefly, because I'm typing in numbers. Come on. Come on. That's so much more cooler looking, though. These D10s are, like, excellent models, by the way. So, I've heard. It's also a small steam locomotive, but it isn't blue. Hold up, Ryan. Hold up. I'm glitching out again for the sake of... Didn't they make frickin' Reading and blue Reading and Northern D10s? Up. Up. Events are occurring. Leo went somewhere. Okay. Bear. Well, there's Bear, so, bye, Bear. Okay, back to the Mars Excursion module. Okay. Center of mass is there. I might put it to a poll. That would be, yeah, if you're indecisive. Oh my gosh, Spud has written a text wall. This is wonderful. You could use the lack of good guidance computers in the 1970s as an asset to your timeline. Instead of trying to make brilliant work with 70s tech, they could end up trying something like MOL with a guy up there to guide the anti-ballistic missiles in. Oh yeah, the frickin', I do know at various points the, U.S. Air Force, in their desperate attempt to get their own, like, human spaceflight program going, did actually propose, like, orbital command centers and stuff like that. Honestly, the whole, like, U.S. Air Force attempt to put people in space, and the sheer number of times they tried only for the program to just get canceled or replaced with something else it's fascinating to me. You think of human spaceflight as, like, typically a civilian thing, and luckily for most of history it has been, save, like, All-Maz and a couple of classified shuttle missions, but the Air Force NASA pipeline. Well, I don't know if you know this, Average, but well, obviously a lot of, like, NASA gets a lot of their astronauts from the Air Force and whatnot, but the Air Force for the longest time, like from the late 50s even into the early 70s, wanted to have their own separate human spaceflight program with their own rockets, their own capsules, all their own missions, completely separate from NASA. And they started with Dinosaur, which was the X-20, which was a space plane, which that started in the late 50s. Well, actually, no, technically they started with the X-15, which did actually fly astronauts into space just on suborbital trajectories, but even then that was like a joint thing with NASA. Then they went to the X-20, which was the Dinosaur space plane, which got canceled in 1963, like 6 months before they were supposed to test fly the first one. Then they replaced that with Blue Gemini, where they basically take like NASA Gemini capsules and fly Air Force astronauts on them. That got canceled in favor of Manned Orbiting Laboratory, which was basically a military like space station. I don't know if you want to call it that. Basically a manned spy satellite, a crewed spy satellite, which ended up getting canceled as well. And then there were some rumblings about, like, the Air Force did eventually fly people on the shuttle. They flew payload, well, on the shuttle they were payload specialists, but they were Air Force people because the Air Force launched classified payloads on the shuttle. But I think the shuttle only ever flew, like, maybe half a dozen, like, military missions, because the Air Force was like, we can just keep using Titan. And then the idea of, like, military people in space just sort of died after, like, the mid-1980s. I remember the Navy tried a couple of things. Yeah. Wasn't Vanguard the Navy? Or am I, like, forgetting? I'm mixing my, in the Navy, yeah. Ryan, the Navy, the midshipman. Are you famous from this GIF? The Auntie Anne's encounter breaking reality. True, true. That slot itself in there. No. Nope. Okay, I'm fucking things up. Vanguard was in fact in the Navy. Yeah, I was. AS was the insanity of Project Pilot. Oh yeah, true. Early, like, pre-NASA, Air Force, NRO space flight is really weird, because the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force all had their own separate spaceflight programs. And then you also had NACA, which was the National Advisory Committee on Aeronautics, which was the predecessor to NASA. But this utter chaos of just competing agencies and whatnot, the National Aeronautics and Space Act, they're like, okay, so the Army and the Navy space programs, along with the National Advisory Committee on Aeronautics, you're going to do civilian stuff now, civilian spaceflight now, and you're NASA. The Air Force is going to do military spaceflight, but the imaging satellites are specifically going to be under the National Reconnaissance Office, which is its own separate thing. Just simplified everything. Okay. Got the RCS. We do need a docking port for the MEM. There we go. And now what we also need batteries and whatnot. But let me... Oh, we also need life support too. Okay. So we need a life support tank. The fact that the concept of military space stations died out by the end of the 1970s in both the US and the Soviet space program should tell you something about the concept TV. Yeah, there just really isn't all that much benefit to having, like, military stuff and, well, human military space flight is what I should say. There really isn't all that much benefit to it. Most of the things that can be done, pretty much almost everything that can be done military-wise in space can be done by just robotics. They just aren't that great of an idea with modern satellite tech. Yeah, exactly. Although the Soviets did actually fly Almaz, which was their military space station, but they mostly flew it because Soviet imaging technology was way behind the United States. So it was more of a benefit to them than it was to say us. So uh so I have this okay, I have this timeline going. I have my rail alternate history timeline going that I've started some work on. I have too many projects. I guess that's always the case, but like, oh well. Too many projects, not enough time. Yeah, they're only really good when you don't have reliable digital computers and cameras which can operate autonomously, which everybody did by the 1980s. Yep, yep. Um, okay. Life support tank. There we go. That worked. And that sort of glitches into one another, but honestly, who cares? So, uh, okay. So there's the... Oh yeah, that's another thing. I probably should... We need to stage. Jesse, we need to stage. Okay. Fuel priority, +2, +2, +2, +1, +1, +1. That stays as a +0. Okay, there we go. So the fuel in that should be good. Like the fuel flow. I do wonder if when the concept of military astronauts will return, though, now that we're starting to reach into deep space with people again. I don't really see the benefit. I don't really see... Like, what would be the benefit of... And that's the question that they've always struggled with. What is the benefit of having military astronauts in space? Like, the only thing that I could think of, right, is, like, satellite repair. Like, if you want to go up and repair, like, a spy satellite, then yeah. But even then, that wasn't, like, a big enough justification to do it IRL. Even though we had the capability to repair basically spy satellites, what do you think Hubble is? Hubble's basically a spy satellite with its optics changed out. That was serviced by the shuttle, so. Same on Earth, protecting assets from rivals. I mean, like, maybe in, like, the far future, but not like in the near term. Are you having noodles average? Okay. Now that we've got the fuel tanks down, now it is time for us to begin. So the Mars excursion module, well, we got the upper stage fuel tanks. I do need lower stage fuel tanks as well, because there are actual engines that pop out. And actually, my version of the map is going to be a bit different. I'm going to stage the fairing. Fairing not staged, yeah. Where is fairing staged? Well, the fairing is staged. It's the heat shield, which I want to stage. And then, okay. We need fuel tanks down there. No, not that big. Oh, let's see. What's like... We use a bunch of these tanks, maybe? I mean, like, how much fuel do we really need, though? That's not deorbiting. That's just to, like, slow it down once it gets to... before it lands, so... So, like, maybe just that is okay? Like, what's the width of, any larger tanks? Where are the 2.5 tanks? Okay. There we go. Could that potentially, like, fit in there? Not at all. Okay. Not until we start seeing, you know, permanent population in the moon in orbit. At that point, someone else might legitimately try and consider seizing. Yeah, probably. Okay. Okay. Bear. Bear is still here. He is being Bear. These engines are just sort of meant to slow it down. No, okay, I do need... This part's kind of hard, to be honest. Keep that right there, and then... This is kind of a complicated craft. This is kind of a hard build, not gonna lie. Because it's just, you have so many different things going on in this craft. It's just kind of... How do I balance all of these together? Sorry, intense fox focusing. Okay, Fuck, go all. PWR up there is still pretty good. Orbital maneuvering engine. Hey, look, it's Nerva. I think that's actually supposed to be... okay. Spider... Maybe that? Hmm. One of the things that'll never not be strange to me is the fact that humanity cracked orbital spaceflight like a decade before it reliably cracked digital computing. You know, I was actually thinking about this. And speaking of things that seem sort of strange. Um... You know what? I don't know. What do we got here? Because we're going to be under, when we deploy these engines, we're going to be under parachute. So actually, yeah, we could just use these engines. I was going to message this you, Spud, but I just didn't have the time, which was 14 TWR. Okay, maybe not that much. To me, it's sort of like the recent Falcon 9 failure, right? And I'm pretty sure it's safe to frickin' call it a failure at this point. But it's sort of weird to me because whenever I go and I start reading about it, right, or I see like people talk about it, it doesn't feel real. It feels like I'm reading an alternate history timeline. It's like, oh yeah, Falcon 9 had a failure on this random Starlink launch nobody watched. And I know it's real. I know it obviously happened, but it just, there's something about it which doesn't feel like, or in the back of my mind, it's like, okay, that didn't happen. I'm just reading alternate history. Reading a timeline or something. I don't know why. Okay, that actually works. We actually got the landing engines down. Although they only have 50 meters a second to delta V. What if I like thrust limit them by half? I guess it doesn't change delta V, it just changes, you know. Vacuum, show all. Those are like retro rockets, pretty much. We'll see. It would feel more normal if we weren't completely used to Falcon 9 being reliable at this point. Yeah. And you know what? There's something always in the back of, I think, everyone's mind. Not everybody, but a lot of people's minds. Like, oh yeah, this thing could just have a random failure one day. But it still feels weird to actually, you know, see it happen. Auto strut. Auto strut report. Okay. So we got that. Now what we need is, I still need parachutes. Let's see. I still need parachutes. Yeah. Radial mounts. Okay. Parachutes. Normal parachutes there, and then rogue parachutes, like there. Are those aligned? Yeah, those are aligned. Okay. Okay. This is actually coming along very well. Actually really liking how this is turning out, which when I play Kerbal Space Program, that's kind of a high bar, because I am a stickler for just, oh, it needs to be correct. Um... Okay. There we go. Hide all. Normal parachutes, rogue parachutes. Yeah, that goes off, and then you obviously land the damn thing. Okay, so that's actually coming along rather nicely so far. Oh, one thing I did actually forget to add was a probe core, because remember, we have to fly one of these things unmanned in like a test flight or something. So, sorry, I'm getting distracted again because I have horrible ADHD. Okay. Let's life support tank. So yeah, I think I'm sort of developing, at least for the rest of the summer. Actually, no. I was gonna say, at least for the rest of summer, I was developing a schedule, and then I realized, wait, no, because next Wednesday I'm not gonna be able to stream Railroader. But, normally Wednesday is Railroader, but the next 2 Wednesdays... I know maybe next week I'm not gonna be able to do it, because I'm doing a trip up to Philadelphia. But I do sort of like Kerbal Space Program, like, late in the week, you know, Slime Rancher sort of early in the week on one of those days, and then Railroader right in the middle. I do sort of like that schedule. That schedule only lasts as long as, it's only gonna last until I go off to college, and then I have to develop a whole new schedule. It's like, once you get into a schedule, like, oh, something else comes up, and you have to change it, so... Okay. So there we go. Now we need... let's see. I need an antenna. Micro antenna will probably work fine, because... like, we're communicating through... We're gonna communicate through, back up to the mothership anyways, so... Okay, so I think the ascent stage is done. The descent stage needs landing gear. I don't exactly know how I'm going to do the landing gear for this. The MEM landing gear is very weird. It's supposed to come out the sides, but like... Let me get up a picture. Yeah, it like drops down out of the base of the frickin'... It drops down out of the base of the heat shield. Like, there's a hatch in the heat shield, and then it opens up. I guess I could just do, like... I don't think I need landing gear that big. I don't think I need landing gear that small. Something like that, and then... I don't know. That's gonna be something... I think we'll probably do that last. Okay, now what? Well, one thing that we still need to do... That's like mem-shaped. Wait a second, that's just a mem. Well, that's the shape of a mem. It's not like the mem. But it is a lander. I'm not going to use that, because that's not as accurate to, like, the book. Here's Space Station Core. Do we have, like, a, like... No. This is gonna be the mini dragon. Where was that? The Pier Station Core. Is that too big? Yeah, that's like way too big. Lander can maybe? Can the lander can stick in there? No. Utility. Volleyball and inflatable habitation module. Do we have Star Utility Module, Sunrise Habitation Module? All these are too big, that's the thing. Well, actually, I guess what I could do... I could just do that. Hold up, I have an idea. I have an idea. Change that to white. Empty the monopropellant out of it. That might actually work. Like, does that collide with the... Yeah, it does. Guess I could do that. I could just do that. That clears. That's the thing. It needs to clear for me, my monkey brain, to actually be like, ooh, ooh, it works. And then I can just do... do a ladder. Okay. I'll get to your thing in a moment. I'm currently focusing. Cracked ladder. Well, that glitches through, but that's like an acceptable glitch through in my opinion. And then in the back of the map, I can just pack like a lunar rover or something. I do want lights on this thing because lights are just generally cool. I also need power. I need like consistent power. I need fuel cells, which let's let's see. Let's see. Okay, where is cryogenic? All those are all bag. Where's the frickin' the sphere, the balls? The xenon tank. Where's like? Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. And then lithium, argon, silver, xenon, liquid hydrogen, liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen. Okay. So move from symmetry. There we go. I don't want it to interfere with that. I can somehow like pack a rover in there if I were to guess. I want to pack a rover in there. I kind of want to remove that too. Let's see. And now we just need, actually, hold up, fuel cell. Fuel cells on the main craft itself. Actually, can we put the fuel cells like, no. Fuel cells back here. Sorry, I'm trying to focus on this. No, functionally, this doesn't do anything, but just for my own sanity. Things lining up. I'm very particular. Just use one fuel. Oh. I could put him on the... Yeah, I guess I can just put him on the main body of the craft. Because... No. That's the thing. I mean, I'm still going to need power even in low Earth orbit, so I think... Probably putting them on the actual that stage itself is probably a good idea. And then I get multi-purpose tank. Good fuel oxidizer. Nope, I need. There we go. Okay, there we go. That works. That's fine. Then it actually leaves it so that we have enough room on that side to... Well, the center of mass is going to go off, but actually not by much. Then the rover on the other side, when we build it, should be enough to, like, counterbalance. I do need... I want to get this done. I want to get this done. And then, okay. So... okay. Actually, it would be better if I rotated the mem around. Sorry, hyper focus mode right now. Now the easy thing just be to say, hey, this part kind of doesn't matter. Someone is calling me. I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I am right back. Looks nice so far. Thank you, Spud. Thank you, Spud. Let's see. That's... hello, I'm the Train Master. It is hello, the Train Master. Are you a Fairbanks Morse Train Master by any coincidence? But welcome in. We're currently working on a Mars excursion module. I'm kind of losing my mind building this thing to a certain degree, but in the end, it will look really fucking cool, and that's all that matters. So, okay, I think if I go ahead and do it with these tanks, going train watching tomorrow, nice. I am going to sleep tomorrow. I mean, I guess I could go train watching, but I don't really. I could go rail panning, but I don't really feel like it. I'll probably just stay home and play with my rancher or something. But I'm gonna head a bit out. Take care. Well, thank you for joining in, Spud, and I will see you around. Currently upload train videos on YouTube. Well, so do I. I upload less like strict rail fanning videos and more like me talking about stuff that's going on or in trains in railroading, or just like hey, I rode this transit line. Me and my friend who's a transit YouTuber at 29 down the line, we did a big video where we ranked every single DC Metro station because we went to all of them. We had a failed speed run. It was kind of fun, but yeah. Do you have a favorite railroad by chance? Mine is the Cotton Belt and the Southern Pacific. Like, I do modeling too, and my hope is to model SP during that era. Which is kind of weird, because that's the era where SP really started to go down the fucking drain, but oh well. It's the era that I find the most interesting. Just the 70s in general. Like, I have like Penn Central models and stuff like that too, because I find that stuff kind of interesting too. So many rail fans in my chat and whatnot, they'll probably see. Hey, that actually looks good. Why does that work? Why does that look good? Oh, it's oh, so wonderful. Hold up. I gotta. I am almost done with this. I also stream, do you know the game Railroader, the Train Master? Me and my friends play it. We have a save that we've been working on. We stream it every Wednesday, although probably not this Wednesday, because I will be going on a bit of a trip, but... okay. That right there is good. That right there is good. I'm also gonna like rigid attachment these things because I know these things will probably want to like bend and flex. Rigid attachment on, rigid attachment on. Well, that's a physicless part, so I'm also going to auto strut to root part. That, and then there's the disconnection between auto strut to root part, and I'd also auto strut that to root part too. Okay, so I think let's see, can I? Yeah, I can make those white. I think our Mars excursion module is almost done. I really like the way this is looking. Of course, the way something looks and the way something flies are two very different things. I don't have any landing gear. Actually, Shroud... I put like landing gear in there. I don't have any landing gear, but I can. That's the one thing that we still need. Okay. I'm getting distracted once again because I have ADHD, so... Okay, landing gear. Landing... Landing gear. Well, that's all, like, aircraft landing gear. Let's see. Actually, you know what? The aero brakes... What? The aero brakes actually kind of remind me of the frickin' Mars excursion module landing gear. They kind of do, in the way that they fold out. Dang it, I want cookies now. I had cookies yesterday. I came home and I'm like, dang, you know what would really go hard right now? Some chocolate chip cookies. So I rushed out to like the grocery store and got chocolate chip cookies super late at night because I wanted chocolate chip cookies. Okay, in that case, we actually have to reposition our landing engines. Actually, no, we don't need to reposition the landing edges. We can just reposition the placement of the gear. I've been eating Halloween Oreos in July. Okay, and eat whatever you want whenever you want, as long as you stay healthy and you don't die, and eat more chicken. And I like chicken. Chicken is good. That's your from your friendly neighborhood kitsune. Eat more chicken. That's the advice I give. Okay. Okay. I am almost done with this. There we go. Okay, so parachutes. That's gonna be some weird landing gear, but it's not even landing gear. It's frickin' what's it called? Not even landing gear. It's aero brakes, air struts. It's kind of funky, but oh, Nox is streaming. That's like the most accurate to what I'm trying to build. Okay, so clamshell deploy, truss structure off. No, not truss structure. Truss structure off. And now I need a decoupler for that, and then I need engine plate, and then I need like a way to deorbit it. Interestingly enough, the deorbit motors for this would have actually been solid. I want to go with a solid rocket deorbit motor. That's the Flea. That's the smallest SRB, I think. Solid rocket booster. Other than like the Sepatron, the Might, just like Minutemans or whatever. Not like Polaris missiles. I don't. So actually, hold up. I might just go with heat shield, shroud. Okay. So that's all good. What's that? FLTX 200. FLTX. FL-TX 200. There we go. And then for that, I'm also going to just... We can put another Terrier on there. Yep, there we go. That's going to be shroud enabled. That's going to be our deorbit motor. Okay. Deorbit motor separates, or actually separates parachute 1, parachute 2, fairing, engines, that. Is there an engine plate down there? No, that's a decoupler. only have one engine plate on this. That's good. So I only need to enable the staging on that. And that's good. So this is our MEM then. With our little deorbit stage, our landing stage. And I think we are going to test fly this. So let's... I'm actually going to take a moment and take a look at something. Sorry, I'm looking at some other things. All right. So we're gonna... Oh, I also fucking glitched out. Okay, there we go. Posture check. I completely did not see that posture check, but I will comply. Okay, so that's root part. Okay. Save, launch, and then we're gonna do a test flight of this where we just cheat it into orbit around Duna. Just to see if we can land this thing. I've built the craft, but I haven't actually like tested it yet, so dock. Cheats, set orbit. Not around Kerbal. Around Duna. Come on. Up. Hello. Also, just for the sake of this test, I'm also going to just cheats, infinite electricity, same amount of propellant, so I just don't have to worry. So this is the orbit we'll be in when we come in. We'll actually be in an elliptical orbit with our periapsis close to the planet and our apoapsis very high above. But this is just a test to see if we can actually, you know, land this thing. So in that case, I also forgot to add lights. Lights are always fun. So let's just go ahead and start up our deorbit motor. Now in real life, this thing was supposed to be a solid motor, but Kerbal Space Program is going to be a just a normal motor, normal parallax engine. Trajectory, okay. So there we are. We'll go ahead and we'll jettison that. So there's the MEM right there. And now it's just a matter of slowly warping down to the... I don't come out and explore Duna enough. I did a massive like Duna mission a couple of years ago, like 3 years ago, where I set up a miniature base. It was kind of wonderful, but oh, that's the Oscar A liquid fuel tank. Okay. In this case, of land. That's a bit too fast, but we'll see, we'll see. So the drogue chutes I know can deploy... Safe to deploy, risky. Well, yeah, we're in space. Well, we're in the atmosphere, but we're basically in space. I'll take some screenshots. We are starting to slow down, but we are in the upper atmosphere pretty far up. So I think for this, maybe a shallow trajectory to help bleed off the speed might actually be a bit better. But, we'll see, we'll see. I can also roll, because this is technically... No. The capsule isn't... Because most capsules, the center of mass is actually a bit off-center. So if you roll the capsule, you can actually generate a little bit of lift. But this doesn't have... The center of mass in this isn't off by enough to really have it matter. Okay. Still slowing down. We should be getting into the deeper part of the atmosphere in a little bit. Yeah, heat shield is heating up. Probably don't need that much of an ablator. We're not going to be doing multiple reentries. We're not going to be... We might be coming in from a much higher speed, though, but I just sort of want to see. Okay. Oh, my, hello? My microphone was glitching out there. Sorry if I'm not talking all that much. I'm starting to... Okay. Go ahead and deploy those parachutes. Deploy the drogue chutes. Okay. Well, they're already, armed, so... I set them to, like, 1. Yeah, okay. There we go. They'll begin to deploy. Up. No auto struts. Okay, so the drogue chutes will deploy. Those... They'll slow down. I need like an action group. I need like an action group to cut the drogues. Veins will pop out. And then we can, at this point, we can cut the drogues. Then what we can do is we can, once we got the parachutes, we can deploy that out. Oh, fuck. Deploy the brakes. Oh, maybe that's a bit too much. Yeah, I gotta like see if I can limit the air brakes. Oh, fuck, we also gotta burn. Come on. Those are also not slowing us down fast enough for us to land. Fuck. Can we... Nope. Hey, the ascent stage survived, kind of. Well, that didn't go too well. I do want to see if the rest of everything will actually work. Because I need to... I need to see if everything else works, yeah. Okay. Cheats. Set orbit. Okay, just, I know we're in Duna orbit, but it doesn't really matter, so... Not gonna lie, it's a weird-looking train. Yeah, kind of is. Hello, not a KGB agent, welcome in. I am... Okay, so that deployed actually decently well. Don't use air brakes, so... Are those powered by monopropellant? No, they're not. Because those are drawing from... Is that drawing from the monopropellant tank? Oh, it is. These are monopropellant engines. That's where it's drawing from. So it's not even drawing from the... Okay, we gotta replace those engines. Also, that's not supposed to do that. Let's go ahead... And those pop off when they deplete. Those pop off when they deplete, and you're left with just this. And... Yeah, okay. So all of that staging actually worked pretty well. What we need to improve is we need to swap out those engines. I need to adjust the parachutes. I need to swap out the engines. Minimum pressure, 0. Minimum pressure at 4. Okay. So here's our landing gear. Can I... Oh, yes, I can. I can adjust those. Hold up. I'm going to adjust the landing gear, and we're gonna see. Okay. Okay. Brakes. Okay. Let's see. Deploy angle 0. You need to deploy out at like... about 20. And then... Well, okay. That's what that would look like on the surface. Just that. I still need to add lights to it. I mean, I do have the lights that are in whatever, but that looks pretty good, not gonna lie. Okay, revert back to spaceplane hangar. Okay. So, deploy angle 20. What else did I need to change? Well, I need to get engines that are actually, like, they're powered by liquid fuel. So, I need to swap out I need to get those engines. Okay. Here we go. Actually, can you change? Yes. It's like the D&H's new styling. Is there a new challenger? What do I see here? Cool guy glasses. Okay, so this is the Mars Excursion module, which was a 1967 proposal for a crewed Mars lander, which I am recreating a science fiction book by the name of Voyage by Stephen Baxter, which is about a Mars mission in the 1980s. And the first thing I'm doing in this recreation is recreating, well, the lander, which is the Mars Excursion module. So that's what I'm doing. Let's see. That has shit TWR. Oh my gosh. What is that powered by? Powered by monopropellant. Let's see. Do I have any, like... trying to figure out what landing engines I need. Those engines, maybe. These ones. Or, hold up. Duna, sea level. Duna at sea level. Those actually work pretty well. And then... yeah, those actually work. The thing is, it looks kind of weird on the side. But, actually, can I use... Can I just, like, do terriers? What would those do? 2 of them. Where are they? Yeah, 2 of them right there. That would be enough. Or maybe just, like, 1. No. Trying to... I need to fit them in there and not have it look like absolutely disgusting in terms of plasma thrusters. Swivel, liquid rocket engine. Those are powered by monopropellant. What is this, an engine for ants? Maybe. Spark. Go all, hide all. Hide all, okay. Those 2 engines, if I move them down there, go all. 72? Okay, actually, those might actually work. It's a funny little boat tail for the frickin' spark engine that's kind of goofy looking. Okay, so. If we just add a couple of these, that should be sufficient to allow us to, like, successfully land. Just 2 of those landing engines. Yeah, those might actually be enough, because those are what? 0.72 thrust to weight? Yeah, and then obviously with the heat shield, we don't... Well, the heat shield's going to be jettisoned, so I can just cut that in half. But, that might be enough, because... Yeah, okay. Because the issue was we were having before is we weren't slowing down fast enough. So let's go ahead. Clamshell deploy. Bearing deploy. Mars excursion module. We're gonna launch. We're gonna cheat it into orbit around Duna. And yeah, we're gonna do that then. Okay, so do the same thing we did before. Cheat, set orbit around Duna. Just real quick. Oh no, wrong. I did not check my staging, and as a result, I gotta shut down those engines. Shut down engines. Those should start working up here. Excellent. Okay. Okay. Attempt 2. Okay, 100 kilometers. Periapsis. Almost there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's good. And then we can ditch the deorbit stage. Okay. Ow. Right, warp down. The atmosphere. Duna. For life support, like 2 days? Oh, 15 days? Okay. Turn around. And now we just gotta coast into the atmosphere again. Just slowly let the atmosphere bite at us, slowing us down. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait, my SAS isn't engaged because I was looking somewhere else. On the lights. I have infinite electricity on, so I don't need to worry about, like, fuel cells and whatnot. Also, yeah, I should... Speaking of fuel cells, I should probably... Where's the, liquid hydrogen? There it is. The liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen, those are what runs our fuel cells, which produces electricity. And then the actual craft itself is, using Keralox, which, I mean, it's supposed to sort of represent, like... I think the actual one was going to use either hydrogen or, like, hydrolox, hydrogen liquid oxygen, or, like, hypergolic fuel. But... Okay, revert flight, no. Lot packed in there, but we should be able to land. Okay. That looks nice. Well, one thing I do actually need to do is there is a bit of a lip there, which I need to correct. So I might need to change the fairing to have it be more like more correct, if you want to call it that. And then drogues are safe to deploy at what, like 500? Like 500 meters a second? And this isn't done yet because I do want to put a rover in this little slot right here. There are still some like tweaks to the craft that I need to make. I mean, hopefully, this is able to work. This probably will be the last test for tonight because I do want to end the stream and then we can continue some other day. Slowly but surely. 5, 24. Ah, Jules over there. Oh yeah, I forget I have Planet Shine installed, so I can see, like, planets from very far away. It's Jewel. Okay. Yeah, this is a bit of a shallower trajectory than last time, so it's taking us a little bit quicker to... a little bit slower for us to actually re-enter. But we should be getting to deploy those chutes in a moment. The drogue, still a bit too fast. We're still 700 meters a second and slowing. Oh, it is 700 meters a second. Okay, those won't deploy right away. But they will... They are armed, so... And then... minimum pressure to... There's the, There's our deorbit stage. I think once they get under 500... Or it's based on pressure, so once we get one, I guess, 0.01 bar. The bar or kilopascals? Whoa. What are we measuring pressure in? Mains will arm themselves too. Land. Get rid of that. Drogues will deploy. Oh yeah, and then I actually need to... where are the engines? Activate engine. Why are they being covered up by the fairing? Actually, what I can do... There we go. Activate engine. Blast the heat shield away a little bit. Okay. Suicide burn in 4 minutes. My microphone has decided to weirdly glitch out. Main chutes deployed. Sorry about that. Maybe, like, control to, like, 15. Main chutes deployed. Main chutes will deploy at 2,000. So here's the MEM. Here's our Mars excursion module. Actually, let's see. What if I deploy them now? Because we are on Duna, so it will take us a little bit to slow down. 30 meters a second. Okay, that actually works out surprisingly well. The landing engines are good. We're just sort of coasting down now. Yeah, I didn't really need to do that, actually. This might... Well... I'm not gonna say anything before this thing actually lands, but well, if we land it, we'll do an ascent test, and then I'll be good for the day in terms of streaming. Almost 10 o'clock, so. Slowly coasting down. So. Okay. I might need to adjust those fuel tanks to make them look a bit more Mars excursion module like, because these fuel tanks are supposed to slant out, but due to the limitation of parts, this is what I'm gonna have to have it look like. Okay. We can begin lighting up the engines, the landing engine. We're landing on some pretty flat ground, all things considered. Okay. Here we go. Up. We bounced. We keep bouncing. Hey, there we go. We've landed. Okay, I'm gonna quick save. Another thing that I gotta do is I gotta see if they can actually exit the frickin' thing. Oh yeah, they can. Yippee! Okay. Yay, okay, this actually is working surprisingly well. I'm surprised how well this thing is working so far. Knock on wood. Oh, I did not mean to climb up, I just meant to. F, grab, E for board. Okay. Revert flight, yes I can. Okay, so we know this thing can land. We know that this thing can land. Now, see if we can take off and go back to orbit. So, there we go. Gotta keep an eye on the fuel. Oh, I left Jeb back on the surface of Duna. Oh well, we're gonna revert back to light anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. Oscar D, liquid fuel tank. Okay. And this thing has drop tanks as it goes up, so once they run out of fuel, drop those tanks. And then we continue on up. I need to add a bit more drop tanks, actually. Maybe some on the back. So gotta pay attention to those. All right. Then Duna's atmosphere is what, like 40, 50 kilometers? We need to start gaining horizontal speed now. Up. We can get rid of those drop tanks too. Those drop tanks are long gone. Now we just need to gain horizontal speed. I might need to add more drop tanks to this thing, more fuel. Yeah, Duna's atmosphere is at 50 kilometers. Okay. Now we just need to burn horizontally. We can't afford to... waste any velocity. As long as we keep it above, the apoapsis above 50 kilometers and gain as much horizontal speed as we can. Okay, there we go. 900 meters a second, that should be enough. We have 200, so it should just be enough just to get into orbit, which is honestly a bit too close for my liking, if I'm gonna be honest. Everything else worked pretty damn okay, all things considered. Still in the atmosphere, but we are slowly leaving it. I just want to see if this thing can get into orbit. Here's our RCS. I typically don't like to, because in atmosphere, there's time warp when you're in space, and then when you're in atmosphere, there's physics warp. But physics warp really screw things up. And then it also causes a memory leak, which is, you know, not really good. So we're just gonna sit here and we're gonna coast until we can finish getting into orbit. And then once we're in orbit, I'll probably just end the stream there. I'll revert back, I'll end the stream. And I'll be back tomorrow with Slime Rancher. But okay. In space yet? No, we're not. We're still technically in the atmosphere. Slowly coasting up, so. Okay. 1 minute, so that's all fine and good. And yes. Okay. 43, yeah. Oh, it's like 45 kilometers, I think. We're almost in space. We're almost in space. Oh, nope, that's physics warp. Nope. I can wait the 20 seconds. Did the game... There we go. Okay. All right, we're out of the atmosphere. We can warp up to frickin' 50. Warp up to apoapsis. So it's 45, not like 50. Huh. Thought it was either 40 or 50. Turns out it's right in the dead in between. So. Okay, so let's see. Yep, there we go. Now, 240 meters a second to delta V left. I just want to see if we burn until completion, what kind of orbit can we get into. That will determine like how much delta V how much more fuel we need to add to this thing. So that's the orbit we can get to. Just that. That's pretty good. It's not good enough for my liking, but it is good enough for today. Okay, well, in that case, I am going to be, I don't know, ending the stream in a couple of minutes. So in that case, I will be, yeah, I'll be ending the stream. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Not a KGB Average, the Train Master, Spud, Ryan was here earlier, and I will be back tomorrow with more Slime Rancher, because I love that game. I need to get in the habit of rating people. So in that case, I will, I don't know who is playing Kerbal Space Program. Similar, same category. Trying to set a comms relay up. Okay. Sure, why not? This person looks interesting. Alright, I'm gonna send you over to this random person. They are currently setting up a comms network in Kerbal Space Program, so that's kind of neat. But, anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.